All right, Full Circle Fitness fans, here we are again with another at-home video workout series. Today is all about the elastic bands. As you can see around my neck, we have all different types of bands we're going to use today. Again, I'm going to link in the description below of where you can get these bands online. I highly recommend it. They are a very versatile piece of equipment you could have for your at-home workouts. And again, today this is going to be workout volume 2 of our elastic bands series. We're going to show you 5 exercises that you can do in the comfort of your own home that are safe and effective for our over 50 and senior crowd. So let's go ahead and get to it. I want to go through a little bit of descriptions in the different bands that we have today. You don't have to have all of them, but I do recommend getting some of them, okay? The first one is the bands with the handles. Now, there's all different types of bands. They have carabiner bands in there, but I like the ones that have their separate handles just because it's easier to go back and forth through exercises. They also have the therapy bands or the TheraBands that come without the handles. We're going to use those today. Again, you can easily use the ones with the handles, but we do have ones without the handles as well. Now, something I do recommend that we're going to be using today, and I'll get a little bit closer so you guys can see this, is having some type of anchor system for your bands that you can put in the door. And as you can see, I have a band hanging up there on the door using this anchor system. They're really cheap and you can make them pretty easily yourselves if you want to. If you're stuck at home, you can just get some Velcro or some type of fabric that you have, some type of heavy anchor at the top that you can put through the door and shut it so the band will stay there. Again, you can buy these online, and a lot of bands that you buy nowadays come with these, and again, I'll put that in the description with this video so you guys have that option too, but I highly recommend doing that. It really gives you a lot of more diverse exercises you can do with these bands if you have that anchor. The last one is going to be an ankle band, okay, and again, these are TheraBand ankle bands. I'll have these in the descriptions too. A very versatile, again, piece of equipment that you can use for your lower body as well. So those are all the different bands that we're going to have in this workout. And let's go ahead and get to it. Without further ado, the 5 exercises that you can do, volume 2, elastic band workout. Here we go. The first one is going to be a lateral and a front raise. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand on these bands right in the center. Now, you always have the option when you're doing some of these exercises to stand with 1 foot on the band or 2 feet. Now, 2 feet obviously is going to be harder because it's pulling that band more, okay? It's giving you less range of motion to use with that band. So if you want to start off doing it with 1 foot, that's fine. Core tight, chest up. This is a great exercise for the shoulders. We're going to go out to the side in a nice T formation, shoulders back, core tight, not arching, out to the side and up in front, okay? From the side view, we're stepping on the band with 1 foot, posture up, head forward, chin tucked. We're going to raise out to the side and then forward. And you're just alternating, okay? You want to get that nice burn right on all those deltoids in your shoulders. So a nice burn right in around those shoulders. Proper form. And we're going to do this for 30 to 60 seconds. All these exercises today are going to be 30 to 60 seconds, and you want to make sure that you're doing them for 2 to 3 rounds, okay? If I want to do this with both feet, I'll just simply put the other foot back in there. It's going to make it a little more challenging, and I'll do the same thing, out to the side and front. Important things to remember is that if you want to add resistance, just do a heavier band or add that double foot, okay? So we're going to go into the next exercise, which is going to be a back step with a band row, and then a step out, which is the third exercise, a step out with an arm kickback, okay? The reason I'm putting these two together is because they're having to do with the band that's anchored on the door. So we're going to go over to the door. Make sure our band is anchored. Now, it doesn't, obviously, this is a high door. It can, if you have a lower door at home, that's fine. And you can put the anchor into the side of the door, not on top, but in the side. Just make sure that it's anchored tight. Pull on it a little bit. I don't want these things coming back and hitting everybody in the face, okay? So it's anchored nice and tight. I know it's secure. All right, I've checked my bands. This is another thing real quick. Always check your bands right by the handle and see if there's any fraying going on. If you've had your bands for a while. If there's some fraying, you definitely want to replace your bands. And you want to make sure that you're replacing these bands if you're using them quite often every 2 to 3 months. All right, with that being said, we're going to start with our second exercise, the back step row. So we're stepping back, bending that front knee a little bit, and then coming forward, pulling it in for a row. Shoulders back, head forward. I'm not looking down. I'm not looking up. Nice, proper form. We're working our back and our leg muscles here. We're stepping back. Now, you can get into a full lunge if you feel comfortable doing this, but again, for our over 50 and senior crowd, we're going to step back, just slightly bending that front knee. This back knee is relatively straight, so I'll show you the difference. This would be a lunge, make it a little more challenging. If your knees can't handle it, you can just simply step back, keeping that leg straight. This is just a little bit of bend and this front knee. Now you're going to step back forward, pull it in for a row. Shoulders back, eyes forward, neck in a neutral position. 30 to 60 seconds each side. You can alternate sides for 60 seconds total, or you can do one side at a time for 30 to 60 seconds and then do the other side for 30 to 60 seconds. It's totally up to you guys. Okay? Now, we're going to go right into the third exercise, which is a step out. Okay? Before we were doing a step back, we're working in all planes of motion. The third exercise is a step out. That's working in the lateral plane of motion. So we're going to step out and then do an arm kickback to work the back of the shoulders and back of the arms at the same time, working our legs. So that same band we're going to use that's anchored at the top. Generally, if you guys want to do this at home, you can make a heavier resistance band for your rows and a lighter resistance band for these arm kickbacks. But for time constraints today, saving time, we're just going to do the same band. But if you always want a heavier band, you can challenge yourself at home, okay? So we're going to stand on that left foot. We're going to step out to the side, bending this knee a little bit, bringing it back, and the arms come all the way back past the torso, okay? So stepping out to the side, bending that knee, bringing it in, and the arms come all the way down past the back. If you can only get them here, that's fine, but your goal is to get them past your torso, and you're feeling that squeeze in the back of your arms. So in full motion, we're going to show step out, arm kick back, step out, arm kick back, okay? And then you can do the other side, step out, arm kick back. Same thing, 30 to 60 seconds on each side, or if you're alternating, you could do 60 seconds total. Step out, kick back, step out, kick back. The cues you want to look for, again, are core tight, eyes forward, not tucking your chin down, and making sure those arms come all the way past your torso. If you're doing, and I'm going to show you from this angle, guys, if you're doing this step out and it's too much stress for your knee, don't bend the knee. Just step out and then kick back. Step out, kick back. If you want a little more challenge, go deeper. Step out, kick back. If you want it even more, you can go into a side lunge, okay, which is coming all the way down and then kick back. So those are three different options for you. Don't bend the knee a little bit, okay, and then go into that side lunge with the arms up and a full kickback, okay? So those are three different progressions to change that exercise up if you want to make it easier or harder, okay? Now we're going to go into our fourth exercise. We're going to go away from that anchor on the wall to using an ankle band. Now, I really love this piece of equipment because you can do so many different things with it, but today we're just going to show you how to do a leg extension, which is really good for your quads, okay? And you want to strengthen your quads because it helps support your knee and your hip, okay? So we're going to take that band, we're going to put it around one ankle. We're going to bring our other foot in, but just step on the band, okay? So we're stepping on the band on this side. We're sitting down in a chair. We're posturing up with our core tight. The side that I'm stepping on, right here, this right side, is going to be on this left, so this left one is going to be extending out. Okay, so if I'm stepping on this side, I'm extending the one that's on the band. On the ankle. So we're bringing it back and extending it straight out. Toe flex towards you, squeezing that quad. Bringing it back nice and slow. I want a 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out tempo. So 1, 2, squeeze, 1, 2, back. 1, 2, squeeze, 1, 2, back. and about 30 to 60 seconds on each side. Now that'll give you a real good burn in that thigh. So we'll show you from the side view as well. We're stepping on this side. This is around the ankle. This is the side we're going to extend out. 1, 2. Now you don't want to fully lock that knee, but you want to get it as straight as possible. And then 1, 2. Okay? 1, 2. Squeeze. 1, 2. And I'll show you on the other side. So I'm going to step on my left now, and my right one's going to go around the ankle. Okay, posturing up nicely. Make sure your posture is good on this. Don't hunch forward. So we're 1, 2, squeeze that thigh, and then 1, 2, back. Okay, again, last time, 1, 2, squeeze, and 1, 2, back. So that's going to be 30 to 60 seconds on each leg. All right, going into our last exercise is a fun one that I came up with. And you've probably seen around, I just want to time my shoe to make sure we're nice and safe here, is a lying leg press. You're going to use the band right here, the TheraBand. Now, again, you can use the band that has the handles too. I just have the TheraBand on hand. I think I prefer this band for this exercise. We're going to lay on our back, okay? So if you're not comfortable getting on the floor for my senior crowd, you can do this in your bed as well. So make sure that you have the band next to you. So we're going to place this band in the middle of our foot. Very important to make sure that you don't point your toe or bring the band up too high so it slips when you're doing this and hits you in the head. So you want to make sure that you're using shoes when you're doing this if you can, and you also want to make sure that that band is in the center of your foot and your foot is nice and vertical. All right? With that being said, we're going to grab this band with our hands, thumbs up, and place our elbows on the ground. So I'm grabbing the band, thumbs up, elbows on the ground. My core is nice and tight. I'm making sure I'm pushing my lower back to the floor when I'm doing this. I start with a 90-degree bend in my knee, okay? So back flat, 90-degree bend, elbows on the ground. I'm going to push straight out all the way until my knee almost locks. Don't lock your knee, okay? Right to the point before it does, and then slowly bring it back. And we're going to do that 2 seconds out, 2 seconds back tempo. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. I'll show you one more time, guys. 1, 2, and 1, 2. So keep that tempo, and you're going to do 30 to 60 seconds on each side. So there you go, guys. There's 5 exercises you can do with the elastic bands at home. They're going to work all different types of muscles and really keep you strong and healthy during these times where we're stuck at home. So remember, check out our other at-home video workouts, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this. And just remember, be safe, be active, and we'll see you soon.